But yeah, Smith Vlasov.
How did you have the card at the end? I think you and I were pretty similar. I had Vlasov by maybe a round or two.
I had the same because I thought he put forth a better effort in the majority of rounds. But Smith, he possessed, the three most decisive rounds. I mean, he had moments where it looked like he was going to knock Vlasov out. But without a knockdown, those are the same 10-9 rounds that Vlasov won by being just busier and being trickier.
Yeah.
So, I thought he won 7 out of 12. I actually think, I'd have to rewatch the fight, but I actually think it'd be a little hard to find 7 out of 12 to give to Joe Smith. I thought Andre Ward's card was good. A draw's fine.
Yeah.
But I just thought Vlasov was trickier. He threw more and he landed more in a majority of the rounds, and that should usually win you the fight.
Tricky is a good way of putting it. I think the word we always use is awkward, which I used with him, but tricky was good because he's a little herky-jerky with his movement, and he's leaning down low, and his movement's a little odd, but he was, like you said, he was very active. He had some rounds where I really think he did some good stuff. Obviously, he cuts him was it the first round? Did he cut him in? So
second round, yeah.
Yeah, so you get that early on, but yeah, I thought it was we've talked about it wasn't a robbery. Not every scorecard we disagree with is a robbery. I thought Vlasov won. Am I devastated and angry that Joe Smith got the decision? No, not really. It's not Chocolatito, but yeah, I thought it was it was an action fight though, and Joe Smith finally gets the world title he's been going after.
Yeah, that guy was very unorthodox, but you can't really classify him. I would classify him more as tricky than I would unorthodox because I've seen this time and time again. You get guys who are unorthodox is they can't help it. This is just who I am, and this is what I'm gonna do. He was awkward, but he had strategy that came along with it, and so it made him tricky more than it made him just awkward. He's awkward, and if I just figure out a way to get to him with his jab and his 1-2. I should be able to get him out of there. That never happened with Joe. Joe was able to find a big right hand here and there through the course of the fight. But for the most part, this guy kept Joe off balance. It kept Joe second guessing himself, hesitating and all that. And it was really just due to the guy being tricky. He wasn't orthodox, but I would actually classify him more so as tricky than I would unorthodox because it was everything that he was doing it on purpose, and it had purpose. It wasn't this is just what I'm going to do this time. He the movements he was making, he had purpose behind.
He was deliberately.
It's all dude staying in the range where Joe can finally catch him. What's he doing? Uppercut, and then he drops his hands, and you think he's pulling out, and he's going to get caught, and then Joe throws it, and he does that over and over again. So he had tricks up his tricks up his sleeve.
Yeah. And he could take a punch too because Joe landed a couple right hands, and y'all know me. When I want you to win a fight, I'm all in, man. I'm jumping up and down, here and there. My son playing with his Play-Doh and he looking up, you know what I mean? So I had quite a few of those because I thought that Joe, once he landed that big overhand right, there were a couple different cases where he landed it, and I just in my mind I thought, okay, this is it, And that was
we've seen it happen before.
Yeah, and that was that kind of for me. I scored it a draw. I thought it was fairly a draw. I don't think there was any biased opinion on who I was giving a round to. I thought it was flat out a draw. And I thought that the only thing that would really, capitalize, in this fight for Joe would be a big knockout, and it never came. And so I was draw or Joe, and then I was glad that he got the decision. I'm not going to front on that.
Any of those three outcomes, Joe by close win, draw, or Vlasov by a close win, I really had no issue with any of those three outcomes happening.
Don't tell me you didn't enjoy what you saw, because I know you did. What you need to do now, hit that subscribe button, hit the like, hit that notification button. Check us out every week, every Tuesday, something new for you right here on the Porter Way Podcast.